Brandy, otherwise known as Mystery of Diamonds, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hey y'all. Okay, so we are continuing on our doll making kit journey. If you have not seen the first one where I am starting this, let me show you the picture of it again. Starting this cake diary, which I have nicknamed the Cat Bakery. There's a cat, it's a bakery. And so now we are on to the next section. Now I have gone ahead and done a couple things, but first I want to show you something that I ordered because now that I've got more kits coming, I feel like I need better tools than what I was makeshifting with. And so I saw this model kit on Amazon Toolkit, and so it comes with this case, and you get these buffering and sandpaper pads. You get like 2 of them, and you get a micro cloth. Okay, you get an X-Acto knife that actually comes with multiple different blades that actually have different tips. They're not all the same type of blade. I thought that was pretty cool. You get a metal ruler that is in centimeters and millimeters. This is what I'm really super excited about. These are paper scissors that are smaller and easier to get into places. It came with a box cutter, which, okay, I'm struggling to get back down. We have a pair of sharp pointy tweezers. Granted, I already have a ton of these, but hey, you can never have too many, right? This also is one that I'm super excited about. I have been wanting these angled tweezers because it's so much easier to hold the items in place and place them with this angled tweezers. So yay! And then it also came with multiple files in case you have to file down sections of the wood. So I got all of that. Let me put this stuff back. And it came in this nifty little case. And then I also got, it came with a cutting board. Now granted, I know I already have a cutting board here, but you know, in my opinion, you can't ever have too many of the cutting boards, you know. So I have this. I'm super excited about it. I like that it comes in a case that's easy to maneuver and use. So yay. And I have me a toolkit. All right, so kind of what I've done for this is I've already cut out, like if it tells me that I had to cut out something, I went through this whole page and saw what pieces that I had to cut out of that one place, what pieces do I need to be able to put things together, so it'll make it a little bit easier for me as I do this, and you don't have to really see me cutting and everything. So I'll tell you what I'm cutting. So to start off with, it tells us to put this together first before you put in the music box. Here's where I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel, because to me, I'm scared that the glue won't have set, and I'll try to put it on and then I'll end up like knocking it off and making a big mess, and that I don't want. So I am going to go ahead and put the music box on first. So I'm going to put this music box on here. Guys, I don't have, because these are Phillips head screws, and I don't have those, so I just used a mini flathead, and it still works. And then I screwed on this, so let's see if it works. So now that I have the music box on, I am going to assemble, the walls together. I'm going to put some wax paper up underneath here so that if my super glue gets somehow crazy, it will be okay. I've glued both of these walls together. The next part is I have to take this part and I have to glue it on here. Okay, so now I've glued this piece to the side. So I have that step completed. Next step is I have to glue this front. I have to put the wires back through that little hole, and I have to glue this. Okay, I encountered a small problem that I had to fix, and then of course I thought I was filming, and wouldn't you know, I'm not filming, or I wasn't filming. So basically what happened is I'm dyslexic, and so I accidentally put, this was actually supposed to be down here, and it was the whole wall was supposed to be flipped so that this side was where you put this, and well, I messed that up. But here's the thing, rather than just scrap the whole project, because I'm not going to do that, I'm not a giver-upper. So I said, okay, I have to fix this. Well, this piece right here, that meant that this went out farther than it was supposed to. So I measured how thick this was, the window sill here, and I cut that amount off over here and sanded it down so that it would still fit. Okay. And the thing is that there's nothing else that goes on this part of the wall anyway. You're just, well, you know, unfortunately the aesthetic is that you're seeing the windows, and you know, you can see in through the windows to the music box. But here's the deal, guys, this is the one that's for me. Okay, it's, with it being my first one, this is for me, and you know, we all make mistakes, and so you just gotta somehow figure out how to work around it. And so that's how I figured out how to work around it, was to cut off part of this wood, sand it down, and make it fit still within the frame. So I'm still happy with that. All right, I am going to set this back here so that I can get on to my next part. I'm going to check mark that off. So I've got to take the menu board and glue it onto the sign board. So here is our sign board, and here, oh, here's the back of the sign board, and here's our menu. So I've got to glue these two on this onto this. Okay, so now I have my menu board on this piece. And so the next thing that I have to do is I have to put these brackets on the back of the sign board. Okay, so I have glued those pieces to the side sign board. So I am going to take this and set it to the side and let the glue dry for a little bit. Next thing we have to do is we have to make this border, which is going to go at the top of our bakery. I have this piece, this piece, this piece, and it goes on top of this piece. Now, what I did go ahead and do is it tells me how much of a lip that I should have. So I did go ahead and put measurements on this right here so I know where to stick them down. And so I'm supposed to, each of these go on the side, and this goes on the back. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so we have put this together. I have glued the two short ends in that, and it still needs to dry a little bit. So I'm going to set it also off to the side so that it can dry. Okay, so the next thing is that I've got to take, I've cut out the little cake bakery or cake shop sign to put on the little kitty cat. So that's the next thing to do. I have my little kitty, I got my little kitty cat, and I have my little cake shop sign. So I'm supposed to glue this onto this. Okay, so now I have put the sign on the little kitty cat. So we've got to set it to dry for a second because I don't want to put it onto this until it's dried. So as soon as those dry, I'll be back to do the next part. Okay, so I'm supposed to take this and I'm supposed to glue this onto, like the middle here. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I now have the cake shop sign on here. So I'm going to let this dry and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I went ahead because I was trying to I had to take the wire with the light, and I had to glue it going along the edge here so that it can fit into the hole up there. So that is what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I've glued that part on here. Now I've got to take these wires. I got to take these wires and I got to feed them through and get them to come out the bottom here. So that's what I'm going to do next. All right, now the last part for this page is I have to glue this signboard to the bottom down here. And so I'm going to turn this around so that I can see this easier, and I'm going to glue it to it. Okay, so I have glued, if you can see here, I glued the signboard to the back. And so now that is our next completed part. Okay, kind of what I figured I would do instead of releasing a separate video for each page that I did. I figured I would do a couple of pages together and then like put the videos together. So this is like second clip or however you want to call it. But I'm super excited because I'm now on my page 4. Look, I get to some of the teeny tiny things. And I'm really excited because, you know, I told you this one wasn't coming in from Amazon for a while. And then I had a really sweet person, Brian, who is, I think it's Diamond Painting Brian Elliott or Diamond Painting Elliott Brian. I'm so sorry, Brother Brian, that I'm butchering your channel name. I apologize, but he let me know that he believed that Hobby Lobby or Michael's had it. And so I sent my husband out and I said, I need it. So he went and found it because this is the glue that Crashly suggests, and I'm willing to try it because this is okay, but I don't know. It's not as good as what I was hoping it would be. So I want to try this because this one is clear. This one still dries slightly white. So we's gonna give it a try. He also, I'm excited about this. He also got me some more. I used to have a jewelry kit with these tools and I can't find it. I think one of my children absconded with it and we can't find it. And so I needed some of these tools, which will come in handy later. I'm so excited. Okay, so like I have said in the past, one of the things that I did is that I did go ahead and in preparation I got things cut out as we're going, so it's a lot easier for me to be able to put it together. So one of the things that it told me that I had to do is we got this paper board, which they call it paper board, but it's cardboard. I mean, it's see, it's cardboard. So they said to get this paper board and to cut out this bottom piece right here and cut out the side and this. And so that's going to be the first thing that we do is I've already cut out, whoops. I've already cut out the paper board right here. I also had to cut this out of that textured wallpaper. It says that I'm supposed to lay this down on top here and I'm supposed to be able to, it says to glue this on here, and then I fold these flaps over it to make the piece. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so as you see, I folded it over the cardboard, and then I glued it, folded it around and glued it. So I have that piece. Oh, I actually like this a lot. So woo-hoo-hoo, yay for me. Okay, sorry. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to stick it to the side, because next I have to take the bricks. So like I had to use the template and cut out the bricks from the template onto this. And then on the colored page, I had to cut out the same bricks. And okay, so here's the deal. They're supposed to line up, but you know, so sometimes we make little mistakes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it first. And then I think I'm going to go back and trim around it. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And that way I can get it looking as good as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. Okay, so I've glued it down. So now I need to take my X-Acto knife, and I need to cut around the imperfections so that I can fix it so that it will look good on my wall. Okay, so I have to put this one on here. So I just want to make sure that I've got the orientation right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to this. Okay, so now we have that piece. Put it to the side. Our last one is one lone brick. It has to be glued to this. So I think I am going to use my tweezers for this one. So now we have a small little brick. Okay, so now that I have all of the brickwork, now I look at my directions and see what it tells me. Yeah, it tells me where I need to put my brickwork on my piece. Okay, so the first thing it says is that this is supposed to go on top, on top of here. So I need to glue that here. So let's do that. now I have all of my bricks on my kit. And the last thing it says for this part is I've got to put some of this greenery ivory going along the top. So they gave me this, and so I got to try to get in here and try to get a small amount out of here. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to glue where I want the ivy to go, and then I'll glue on. Okay, I have the ivy glued on, but I can say I think I now have developed a green thumb. Okay, so next we're going to make these little paper rolls. Okay, so I had to cut out 2 of the little mini circles from the matte foil or matte gold material, and I'm supposed to glue them together. And so I should have a total of 2 of these completed together. So let me get those. I have a total of 4 of these little circles. And so I'm supposed to glue them like one on top of the other, but where both shiny sides show. Okay, so I have the 2 little ends. Oh, look, they look like little eyes on my fingers. I got the 2 little ends for the gold roll. So I'm going to set those aside. I got to get this little cylinder, and it says I've got to roll it into a roll. Okay, so now that I have a little tube, now I got to take this tube and I got to put these ends on it. Little ends on it. So I'm going to try to put those on, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and now I have a little gold ribbon holder. Ooh, I can't push it too hard. I don't want to misshape it. Unflatten, go back into a roll. All right, let's put that off to dry, because now, okay, I said put you off to dry. No, you're not allowed to hang around right now. You have to dry. So go dry. the glue strings, y'all, the glue string. So now I got to do the same thing with the silver. So I have a gold roll, and now I got to make me a silver roll. Alright, so now we have our silver one. After we've made them, now we've got to put the fabric on them, which technically isn't fabric, it's actually paper. but we wrap it around and make it look like fabric. So we're going to start the gold one. It's supposed to have the lacy one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of curl it up some already for us. So I'm going to attempt to glue this onto our little wheel here. Okay, so now we have one little roll of ribbon. Now this one has to go on the silver one. So there are both of my ribbon rolls. Okay, the next thing it says to do is I have to take this dowel and I have to wrap this newspaper around it. So there is our little ribbon rolls here. I'm going to try to bend these to make them look a little bit more realistic. Alright, so that's a little bit better for me. Okay, so now I got to set this aside and put together the shelf. Okay, so it says I'm going to glue this to this, so I'm supposed to glue it like this. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so because I don't want to pick it up and mess with it too much while it's drying, so I have those pieces on. So now it tells me that I've got to take this piece and I'm supposed to glue it right along here. So that's what I'm going to do and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have that on there, it tells us to put our last piece on. So I'll be able to put this, whoops, on here and complete our little shelving unit. Okay, and that is our completed shelf with the newspaper and the ribbon rolls. And this, it won't go on to the kit yet. So that is our progress today. We've got the ivy here, we have the bricks, and we have made our little shelf that will end up going, over here. So that gets us where we can check off the last pieces, and that is page 4 done. All right, so as I like to say, reach for the stars, grab hold, hold on, and never let go. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe and become part of the Diamonds family. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and I hope to see you in the next video.